Good evening, guys. I'm Rob, and I'm with the beautiful man, Matt Angel, with me. We're going to be talking all things Cardiff after the Watford game today. Hope you're all keeping well. How's it going, Matthew Angel?
All good, buddy. All good. Ideal 3 points on the road today. I think they've done well to hang on second half, really, to be honest. Watford come back into it a bit. But, I think it was a good 3 points.
Yeah. Do you know what? Did you think... Well, first of all, did you think that any of the new boys were going to start today? Or was you a bit surprised with the lineup?
If I'm honest, I wasn't shocked that they weren't, because at the end of the day, a lot of them have only been in the building, 24, 48 hours at the most, really. So I wasn't shocked that they didn't start. It was nice to see a couple of them come on.
Yeah.
And, they're only going to get more game time the longer they're there, really. But, I wasn't too disappointed. Obviously, I've seen some things posted on social media. I can't believe none of these are playing. And I just thought, hang on a minute, they've only been there 2 minutes.
I think
go
on. Sorry, Matt. Go on, but
it was good that obviously we started with the team we've been starting with lately, but it's nice now that you've got that bit more strength and depth on the bench that you can bring players on who can change games and things.
Yeah, well, that's it. I think you're bang on. Going back to your first point, part of me was thinking you might see maybe one starting. I was thinking potentially Turnbull might have started. You're absolutely bang on. I thought, the thing is, he's only been in the building, like you said, 24, 48 hours.
Yeah.
So, it would have been a bit of a push, but it was lush to see such a full bench. And I don't think we'll probably touch upon a bit of depth in a minute, but I don't think Ramsey was ever going to play today. But I think having him on the bench from a morale point of view, I think that speaks. It does wonders. Yourself.
100%. That would have given everybody a hell of a lift, having him back in and around the environment. I think he's always been there and thereabouts the changing room, hasn't he? I think, even though he's been injured, which is a good thing. But having him kitted up today and players knowing that he's there, he can come on and make a difference, type of thing. That would have given everybody a boost, 100%.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. I absolutely agree. I think just knowing that, you're absolutely right. Like when he started his rehab and started coming back, I think that probably made a big impact on the boys on the pitch, on the training ground, and then to have him named as a substitute, I think took it to another level from then. Thinking, right, big dog's back in town now. This whole game, this show.
It's like having another new signing, really, isn't it? He's been out for so long. Was this the Swansea game? He got it. Was it the Swansea game? It was his last game, I think.
Oh, I think you're right, but
yeah. So
what's that? Like September, October? Was it September, October time?
End of September, wasn't it? I think. We should be remembering them dates, but we don't get to beat them buggers often, do we?
No.
Evening, Reece.
So I can't hear the comments.
We get some minutes at home next week against Preston. 10 minutes, even 5, just getting back on the pitch. Yeah, 100%. But I think it was smart, really, from Bullet or Bullet. I just say it, but like I said, I didn't think there was no need to risk him, really. I think we defended pretty well second half. There was a couple of dodgy, shaky moments, squeaky bum time when they were pressing, but overall, I think, it was a really good performance. I just wish we could play for I don't know whether it's me, but first half, I think we were on top. And I suppose with Watford being the home team, they're always going to come at it a bit more second half. But there's a message I put in the WhatsApp group earlier thinking that, let's not just sit back and let them come at the still attack type of thing. But it would have been nice to have got another goal. But, if I'd have taken a 1-0 before the whistle went this afternoon.
I think, I think that's happened a few times over the season, where guys have taken the lead and they've just set back, like just said to the oppo, right, come and have a go if you think you're hard enough. Let's see where you go. And they've come undone a few times from doing that as well, in fairness. So,
do you think that's something tactically the manager's saying to them then, once we've gone 1-0 up, or do you think it's just the nature of the beast where the other side is chasing the game type of thing?
That's a difficult one, Matt. That's a really good question. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a mixture of the two.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't seem to be that intent, that cutthroat intent to go, right, let's go for the juggler and let's go and kill them off. It's like a case of, let's get that goal, which is great, and just hang fire. And in fairness, we're in a good way today. It happened. That's probably one of the best times to score on the stroke of half time. But you know yourself, we've done and had that approach when we've scored within the first 10, 15 minutes as well. And it's a dangerous game to play, I think. Personally, obviously he knows a hell of a lot more than I do, but I think it's a dangerous game to play sometimes.
Yeah.
Sitting tight and holding out 1-0 lead when you got a couple of months of time left to play in the game.
Yeah. The only thing I do look at it and think as well that we're pretty decent on the counter attack now. So if teams are pressing us, I thought Ruben Caldwell was brilliant today. The legs on him, he covered a lot of ground. I think that was probably his strongest performance, I think, for a while. In my opinion, I don't know what other people think, but I thought he done really well.
Yeah, I think so.
I think sometimes though he tries to do a little bit too much, and perhaps rather than give that pass, he tries to do a little bit too much and gets caught out sometimes. But yeah, it was nice to see him have a strong performance, really.
Yeah, I think, to be fair, I think he probably, going back to the Rambo caveat, I think that he knew in himself he had to have a big performance today because he knows deep down when Ramsey comes in,
back, yeah,
he's having his position back. Do you know what I mean? So I think that he's done well there.
Yeah, and I suppose, there's a lot of players in that side now starting today. You're thinking, there's 4 or 5 new faces come into the building. Nothing's set in stone. No one's name is fixed on that team sheet. So we've all got to put in that performance. And I think the first 45 minutes, they performed really. And I'm not saying they didn't perform second half, but I think it was just a bit of a different game where Watford made a couple of changes tactically, I think, and they brought it on us. But again, I think we defended quite well. I think did Nat Phillips pick up a yellow card towards the end? There was a free kick on the edge of the box, I think. Well, that was squeaky bum time. But Reese's comment there, haven't seen none of the game due to work. Sort your priorities out, Reese. Don't do work on a Saturday, man. Did NG go off injured? I seen he was subbed off, and how did the new boys look when they come on? If I'm honest, I don't think they had enough game time probably to have an impact, really, in my opinion, or to see enough and give a good, honest opinion. So it'll be interesting now to see if any others, if they start the next game now. And obviously coming into a new environment, new tactics and things, I think it's going to be difficult to judge them after, 15, 20 minutes type of thing. So I think the next couple of weeks will be a bit more of an idea, really.
Do you know what? And I know he's a bit of a Marmite at times. I thought Wintle had a very good game today. He and CO kept Livermore out of the game, and Livermore is a fantastic footballer. He's very experienced.
I was glad to see him
at the highest level. What's that?
I was glad to see him go off when they subbed him.
Yeah, he was out of the game. They kept him out of the game. He is normally for Watford that pivot who will control the game, control the passes and whatnot, and it may go under the radar sometimes a little bit, but I think that CEO and especially Wintle, I think they literally bossed him, and Ruben as well, of course. But I think they bossed him, hence why they took him off, because he had no impact really in that game whatsoever. My marking on Livermore was on point. He had no control in that game whatsoever. And yes, Watford had a hell of a lot of possession, but I love the saying, but it was all fart, no poo of it. They had there was no substance to what they were doing. They were they were just forcing it at times because they literally could not get through the midfield. And I think that's a credit. I know we know how good CEO is, and I think Wintle gets a lot of stick at times, sometimes deserved. But I think today he done a very bloody good job. In fairness, I think he controlled that midfield well today with CEO, and I think that boils down to as well because he knows that
there's new faces in the building now.
Exactly, and I think that's worked wonders for him because it's a rocket up his ass. Because he knows now that he just can't. It's not going to be a split between him and Rawls, and he knows he was better than Ebu Adams, and Reno and Sawyers. He knows deep down he was better than them, but now he's bringing in this quality Scottish boy, who I'm a massive fan of, by the way, and he knows he's got to up his game, and I think he did. I think it was very, very good.
There was a couple of good performances. I like that. Jamalu Collins looked a lot more confident going forward today. I think. Obviously he had that bad injury and he's come back for some games. I've really, really doubted him, to be honest. But it was nice to see him today running up the flank type of thing. So
yeah, I agree. I thought he was very good. I'll be honest, I'm not a big, huge fan of Collins, but again, I thought he massively upped his game today. Not sound negative to caveat of that, but I thought the young lad who come on as left back, he got caught out a few times when he did come on. So obviously it's work in progress, but he got caught out a couple of times, in my opinion.
That's the one from Man City, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't try and pronounce his name.
They looked when he come off. When Collins come on, and we know the team seems to target Collins anyway because they're aware of his capabilities at times, but they seem to do it more so when the young lad come on, and it's going to take him a while to keep the pace. And I think, in fairness, maybe I'm being harsh, because you come into a feisty environment, 1-0 lead, trying to hang on, sort of thing. But yeah, he got caught a few times, so be interesting to see what he'd be like when he actually starts again.
Yeah. And like I said, the more he gets to train and he gets to know the boys, obviously the confidence, it should increase, shouldn't it? And it all depends now, I suppose, what the manager sees fit. And is he going to use him for the first couple of games now as backup for Jamalu and see if his confidence increases now with there's a bit of competition behind him type of thing? Be interesting to see, really.
Yeah, it's almost, it'd be lovely if we were still in the cup winner to have the excuse even to use some of the other boys to get the experience and stuff. But it is what it is. But so when's the next game now then? It's
next Saturday, Preston.
Preston.
Yeah, home game. It feels like I haven't been down for ages. I can't remember the last home game. It's nice, like taking the boy down. Season ticket holders in the family stand. So yeah, it'd be nice to have Preston home next week, and then I think they got West Brom on the Tuesday or the Wednesday night.
The following Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah. So it's, Yeah, all good. I'm just having a look because of the results from today. Because Preston had a good win, didn't they? They beat Ipswich 3-2. They were 3-0 up. And Ipswich
Didn't Keith and Moore score 2 as well?
I'm not talking about him anymore. That's banned. That is.
That's a swear word.
But I'm hand on heart. I'm not disappointed that he didn't come back. To be honest with you, I'm not disappointed at all. I prefer him up front than a Tete, mind. I'll be honest with you, because I think he's a pile of well, I won't say anymore, but I just for the size of him, I just think he goes down too easy. And don't get me wrong, he scored some great goals for us. But I just don't think he's there at the moment. I think he's way off the pace type of thing. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I think, given his stature, you'd think he'd be a monster of a striker, like, wouldn't he? Do you know what I mean? He's a big, strong boy. He's got all the attributes physically to be a cracking number 9, like an old school, powerful number 9. But he's just so weak. Like, he's just so weak.
Just goes down too easy for me.
Yeah. But I don't even think, though, like, he's deliberately going down too easy. I just think he's just not stable enough.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's physically strong enough to contest with it. I don't think he's even when he's going down so much and so easy. I don't think it's to gain fouls sometimes. I think it's just because he physically cannot withstand the pressure on him.
He needs to get in the gym, doesn't he? I think, and just.
Well, that makes me think, though, because surely, some people in the chat may be able to enlighten me on it, but like, you think that, as a big football club, as a professional football club, regardless of the size of it, if they're seeing this for one of the strikers who is getting belittled sometimes by smaller players.
Yeah, you think so. I totally get what you're saying. If we are noticing it, surely the powers that be within the club are noticing it as well. So why aren't we doing much about it? Like, what they might be doing something. He might have, fitness programs and gym programs that he's doing. Obviously, we don't get to see or hear about that, but I just think whatever he's doing, he needs to do a bit more. Don't rate the Tete. He's absolutely awful. I think we just need to get to the summer, and then the club needs to fully back bullet on players and have a real go at hitting the playoffs. Yeah, I completely agree with Reese's comment there. I'm surprised, to be honest. I don't know what your thoughts are, that we had the 4 or 5 players come in, really. I was obviously with the window, it was all done last minute, wasn't it? I honestly thought perhaps that they might not have brought anybody in and just let him go with what he got until the summer, see how they would have finished, and then backed him, perhaps.
Yeah, absolutely agreed. I was half expecting us to just leave that window with maybe just 1 maximum. The way it was going, I didn't expect us to get 4 or 5 over the line, in fairness. I didn't expect us, in fairness, to get 4 or 5 out the door.
Yeah.
On that note, actually, what's your thoughts on the departures? Most importantly, Rinamoto. What's your?
Is it Huddersfield he's gone? No, Rotherham, isn't it? Rotherham he's gone.
I'm not too sure. The guys in the chat.
They sent him out on loan. Was it out on loan or was he?
No, permanent. He's gone permanently, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe he's gone permanent.
I did like him, to be honest. I just, he had a good engine, but just another one wasn't consistent enough, really, and didn't have the run of games, really. There was always people above him, I suppose, but I'm surprised Sawyers didn't go.
Yeah.
He's got to be another one, I would imagine, who's probably, he's a good earner, I would have thought. I'm surprised But then
I bet he's on a few quid.
Yeah.
And I bet that he's probably thinking, I'll just hang fire and take my wage.
Yeah, and at the end, if a club comes in and they're not able to match his wages, then at the end of the day, you can't blame him for not going, can
you?
No. He's probably getting towards the end of his career now. I'm not sure how old Sawyers
is. Yeah, he's got to be mid-30s now, mate. He's got to be mid-30s. I'm sure he's like 33, 34 years of age now. I was a big fan, like, even when Sawyers and Reno joined back last summer. It was last summer, wasn't it? They joined. Yeah. I was buzzing. I was absolutely buzzing because I remember Sawyers, in particular, when he played for West Brom, how good a footballer he is. And I don't doubt he's still a good footballer now, but I think it's
hard when they don't have a run at game time, innit? So, like, they come in for 10 minutes here and there, and that's all we're able to, as fans, that's all we're able to judge them on, is that 10-minute performance, which is always difficult, I think. And, it can't be nice as a player, playing 10 minutes every couple of weeks type of thing, because it'd do my head in. But like you said, if you're at that age of your career and you're happy just to sit on the bench, and, it'd be different perhaps if he was 10 years younger. He'd be hungry and he'd want to be out there playing football.
Yeah.
But
he's got to be on at least, I reckon he's on at least about 15, 20 grand a week.
It's all right, didn't it? For kicking a ball around the pitch, like doing something.
Well, not even kicking a basketball at the moment, is he?
No. One other one I was going to mention to you, and I know he scored a pearler today. But what's your thoughts on BOWLER? I wasn't too impressed leading up to his goal, and then he scored that world.
Again, yeah, I know you did make abundantly clear, mate, in fairness.
Yeah. I think I put it in the WhatsApp group saying he was shocking, and then 5 minutes later he scored that worldie.
Do you know what was quite funny was because I didn't see your original message about it, and then I clicked onto it after he scored, and I seen him pretty much back to back. Yeah. But no, I don't think you're wrong though with the initial comment. Like, I think I gotta be honest, I'm very surprised he didn't get sent back. I was. Especially the loans coming in, I was quite certain he was going to get sent back with the loanies coming in. There is something, oh Christ, of course there's something about him.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just think he needs to back himself a bit more and have a bit more confidence, because when he got the ball at his feet and he's going, like I said, he's got all the ability in the world, and that goal today proved that. But I just think sometimes he got the ball and I'm just thinking, just get past him. And then I know it's easier said than done, but there's 100% he's got that ability to go past and beat people. And I just think, I don't know how you feel, but I think that's an area that we've always probably struggled with, really, is having the wingers, having the confidence to try and beat the man and whipping the ball in. But his goal, fair play. He took his goal superb today. It was a beauty. Fair play.
Oh, it was sexy. I was, in fairness, like. I was quite taken aback, in fairness, with the build-up and all that. Yeah. I scared the crap out of the kids. I cheered when I seen it go in. But no, like, I think now he's done that. Surely that's got to be a confidence booster, and you'd like to think now we kick on and get back to where he was last season.
Ever since he had that injury, and he was out for a while, when he came back a little bit different for me. And I suppose, if you're out for it takes a while to get back into it. But you'd like to think now the professionals these days, it wouldn't take so long for him to get back into it, type of thing.
Well, I don't think it's even that sometimes. I think a few people have picked up on it, where he's been a bit of a stroppy little bitch when he's been on the pitch, when it's not gone right. And I know it's easy to do, even at youth level, it's easy to do, and it's easy to throw your arms in the air and be a bit frustrated and things like that. But you know, sometimes you just need to knuckle down and just fucking crack on with it. Like, so I think let's see how he goes now. I suppose let's on to next week with him, and let's see how he cracks on and see if he pushes on and bloody hopefully get back to what he was. What 6-7 months ago?
Yeah, it'll be another difficult one next week. Preston at home. That won't be easy, and no games in the Championship are easy. I don't think there's anybody in the Championship you can say we're playing at home, we're guaranteed 3 points. Like, our home record haven't been the best since probably about October time, I wouldn't have thought. But yeah, it'll be difficult next week. I don't know where sitting in the league now. Any ideas?
Say that again. We're personally.
Yeah, they're 10th. Oh. They're 10th. We've gone up to 13th today. So we're still 5 points off the playoffs. So, if somebody had said that to you at the start of the year, beginning of February, you're going to be 13th in the table with 40 points, you'd have bit their hand off, wouldn't you, after the last couple of years?
Of course you would. Given what's happened in the last couple of years, Jesus Christ, they'd bite their hand off and run away with it a million miles away from it.
Yeah. I think the thing with us all Cardiff fans, we all expect our expectations are through the roof in there, and we just want them to do better than they're doing. That's the trouble.
Yeah, the fact of the matter is, we are proper Jason punching away this season. Like,
yeah. I know we've had a bit of a blip, and the results haven't been there, and we've lost some games that perhaps we shouldn't have lost. But like I said, if somebody had said we'd be where we are at the start of the season, I'd have bit their hand off. And at least we are playing better football. It does wind me up sometimes playing out from the back. I don't know if you're a fan of that, but it gives me blinking heart palpitations sometimes.
Do you know what it reminds me of? The first time I ever remember Cardiff playing out from the back was when I first started watching Cardiff back in the mid-90s, and it always gives me flashbacks of John Hallworth, and I can't remember who was some people in the group, or maybe yourself, might be able to remind me who the centre-backs were, but I remember Cardiff playing from the back, and Big John, when to clear the ball, like he got played short, when to clear the ball, like messing around with it, and he kicked it away, and it's one of the centre forwards, and they pretty much took it off him and went straight back in the goal line. And ever since then, even to this day, 30 years ago, it still gives me bloody horrendous flashbacks of playing from the back.
He played for Ipswich as well, didn't he? If I remember right, left-footed goalkeeper, wasn't he?
Christ, that's some good knowledge, that is, boy.
Yeah. Back in the day, I can always remember the first game I went to at Ninian Park. I think it was Maidstone. I can't remember. We lost. It? Yeah. But I think we lost 4-1 or 4-2, I think.
What, cup or league?
I can't remember. I think it was a league game. But sat in the family bit in Ninian Park and right in the front row, so you couldn't see over the other side because there's obviously it's a bit of a dome, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But I used to love that ground. Obviously, we got older then, and we went on the other side and on the Bob Bank, and yeah, fantastic. It's completely different atmosphere to the new ground.
I think obviously you and I went to Rodney Parade Day for the boys, and it give off some of that old school nostalgia vibes, didn't it? I think of Ninian Park.
Yeah. Well, yes and no, really. Obviously, the old ground probably is very similar, I suppose, but I didn't think there was any atmosphere there at all today.
No. No, absolutely. The atmosphere, from an atmosphere point of view, maybe we were, maybe in a different area of the ground. It might be a little bit different, but no, the atmosphere weren't great. They ended up winning 2-1 after as well.
Great experience for the kids, though. The kids loved it today, didn't they? Fair play out on the field with the flags and that, and
Great.
That's what it's all about. If you can get the kids to fall in love with it at the age of 7 and 8 and things like that, then they're doing a good thing in it. And the more that we see, the better, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And in an ideal world, we would take the kids to Cardiff, but they want to charge the earth for us to go. That's the reality of it. Newport costs next to nothing for us to go to do it. It's one thing paying for the tickets and stuff like that, but to do the flag bearing as well, I think it's minimal. But what Newport charge us as a club to come and do it, whereas Cardiff is silly amounts of money for us to go and do it. That's why we've never done it for as long as I've been at the club anyway.
I do always look at it as well. Like, obviously, I know you don't get to go as much as you would like to, but there's so many games and you see so many empty seats in the stadium.
Yeah,
why not give them to like grassroots clubs? I know a couple of seasons ago we done the kids for £1, or last season or whatever it was. Why don't we do that more often? It surely is better to get. I don't know if other people, I'm not sure how many people are viewing or whatever, if anybody else agrees, but I think if you get a parent bringing a kid, obviously the parents are having to pay the full ticket price. The kids get in the ground, they want a drink or something to eat. Do you know what I mean? So the club are going to make their money back, innit?
Well, that's what you see when we were younger.
And you're getting bums on seats as well, like.
Well, that's what it used to be when we were younger, didn't it? £1 for a kid. That's how I always remember it. And I must have been not much older than our boys' ages. And it says a lot about my family that they hammer the harrow, and when he paid £1 for you, Rob.
Yeah. But I can remember saving the vouchers in the back of the South Wales Echo and taking it in my little plastic holder. That's £3 or whatever it was to get in them days. But no, it's nice now because I'm doing with my boy what my dad used to do with me, like.
Yeah.
So he's kind of gone full circle now, and it's brilliant, and he loves it. In fairness, he's right into it now.
Do you know what? It felt wicked this morning. Like, I felt a bit of a throwback this morning when me and Joseph was heading off this morning, putting my top on, my jacket on, and all that. Like, heading in a car, just give it a bit of flashbacks, and then you obviously do it quite a lot. But obviously, as you know, Joseph's not a big fan of going to watch the football yet. But it felt wicked. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, how it must have been with my old man with me, like when I was a nipper. But
right, going back to Cardiff.
Yes.
Was you surprised Robbo didn't go?
Massively.
Yeah. Disappointed he didn't go?
Yes. I think so, but I think that correct me if I'm wrong, I might have missed it, but I don't think he was involved in the squad at all today. I mean, he might have been on a bench, but don't think he come on. I could be completely wrong, but I didn't notice. And maybe that speaks volumes in itself. But I think that there was. Well, let's be real. Again, going back to the Sawyer situation. Excuse me. His wages probably push people out of the market for him.
Yeah.
He is a proven championship player, don't get me wrong, but I think that his wage demand's too high. He's got a good thing here at the moment. He can play a bit part. He's obviously not a flavour of the month right now, but he's taking a wage. He's playing now and again. What's he going to do?
Yeah. I'm like on the fence, really. I think, when he plays, I know he's not scoring goals and that at the moment, but at least he's out there and he's chasing and he's pressing. And I don't think we've had enough of that. I don't know what your opinion is, but some games I just think, put them under pressure. If they're going to play out from the back, put them under pressure. Don't let them walk it out. And I think a lot of games we've allowed teams to do that. And we haven't put enough pressure on them.
He's a good footballer. Look, I mean, there's no mistake about it. He is a bloody good footballer. But I think shit sticks sometimes, and I think that what's happened, why other clubs have got rid of him in the past is catching up with him, and I think we're seeing why other clubs have got rid of him. Yeah. I think personally, on his day, he's a bloody good player. Like, he is a quality championship player. On his day, he's very, very good, and he could easily be a top strike, a prolific striker. I think personally in the championship, but through one thing or another, he has that run and it goes well, and then it's just so stop-start with him. Yeah. And I just do not think that it justifies the wages that he's given personally, when there's other people who could do similar for a fraction of what he's paid each week. I don't know how long he's got left in his contract either. So be interesting. I don't think he's out of contract this year either, is he? I think he's got.
Yeah, I would imagine.
I got a feeling he's got at least another year left on his contract. So I don't know.
It's not disappointed he hasn't gone, because there's things there that I like about him, and it's just, I think Bullet or whatever his name is, I just think he needs to find that partnership up top and go with it, type of thing. I think Mate, I like him when he comes on. I know we haven't scored many goals, but he's strong, he's physical, he can put it about. We can beat people. I know he sometimes plays on the right as well, doesn't he? But
I like him as a right.
Yeah.
I like him as a right, personally, Mate. He's got that strength and power behind him to do it, because he's not a prolific goal scorer. So no. I think that's where he could potentially be his most dangerous, and if he is, just use him for what he is, a freaking battering ram.
Yeah. Because that's what we're missing at the moment, is if we could have a striker who's going to score 15, 20 goals a season for us, and I know you can't just pluck them out of thin air, but that's what we're missing, type of thing.
Happy days. Right, before we come to an end, guys, any questions, any comments that you want to go through? I will go over the chat as well. So Reese says our away form is a lot better than our home form. Do you think the players feel the pressure playing at home? Do you hear a lot of moaning and groaning when something doesn't go right at home?
I think the atmosphere in the ground sometimes, I suppose people come out and they see there's 20,000 people there, and I wouldn't say they get nervous. It's about to be some kind of nerves, don't get me wrong, but I think sometimes as fans, we don't create that atmosphere. I suppose, I've been to away games, and no doubt you have, and the atmosphere when you go away is incredible. It is completely different, and I just think, perhaps they feel more comfortable playing away than they do at home, because they feel that they got more support. And I don't know if that sounds funny, but I just wish that we could mirror the away support in the Cardiff City Stadium, man.
Yeah, I think the shackles are off a little bit, aren't they? I think when you go play away from home, the shackles are off a little bit, and I think you've got that freedom then to go express yourself a bit. That's what I'd be like as a player, as a professional footballer. I'd think, right, what's the worst could happen now? I balls up a pass. I'm not going to have 15, 20,000 fans on my back. All right, I might have some abuse from the home fans for a little bit, but you're not going to get it from your own club. You're not going to get it from your own group. So, and it's a funny one. Like it's I think it's down to the pressure.
Would love to see Colwell Jr. have a
Yes,
start.
Lorna, I'm all over that. I've been busting for that for ages.
Do you think he will now? Do you think he will now have much more of a thing this season now, though, with the new faces that have been brought in, though?
No.
I think
completely
going back to a comment you made earlier about like cup games, if we were still involved in the FA Cup or whatever, it might have been different. He might have had a bit of game time, but I'd be surprised if he gets much game time going forward now with the new faces that have come in. But again, from some of the things I've heard and things, he's got all the ability in the world, but again, he's only young. How old is he? 18, 19, something like that?
Yeah, he's just a pup, isn't he? He is just a pup.
So it's just, we got to manage it correctly. And, he's, again, like Ruben, he's been at the club since he was probably wearing nappies type of thing. But we just got to manage it right, haven't we? And obviously the club are probably doing that.
I think if the signings hadn't come into fruition, then we would have seen him.
Yeah, 100%. And I would have preferred to have perhaps seen him start playing and start using some of the youngsters, because this Kean Ashford, I know he's been in the squad the last couple of games as well. And
has he gone out? Did he go out alone, Ashford?
I don't think he have. I'm not 100% sure, mind. I don't know if anybody in the chat can confirm that. I'm not sure.
He did. I think he stuck around. I might be wrong.
Yeah, I think he did. I know Kroll went, didn't he? Benjamin's gone.
Kieran Evans went.
Yeah, a lot of them gone to like weird teams as well. Western Supermare.
He's busted for some trouble, isn't he?
But I think Darren Purse explained the thing, didn't he, when we met with him about going out on loan and things. I can't remember what he said now about.
We'll speak to Percy soon anyway. He comes out, then our way, boy. Don't you worry about that. It's gone past deadline day now, mate. So I'm allowed to mention it now.
Get on to him now.
Right, what's going on here?
Well, more effective and better attitude than Robinson, lads. Robinson's attitude when things go wrong is terrible, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Colin plays for the badge, even if he's not playing his best game. So going back,
he's a Cardiff boy, isn't he?
Yeah. So going back to the comment I made earlier, where I said sometimes he does a little bit too much. So I don't know. Would you agree with that? Is that something you've noticed? Sometimes I thought he was brilliant today. I really do. But again, there was one or two times today that he tried to beat another man when he could have played the ball out wide. I just think sometimes is give it out. Denham gone to Ireland, and Walcott gone to Scotland. Ashford's still there, I believe. I think he's got a brilliant future, Ashford. I've seen him a couple of times when I've taken Josh down to watch the under-21s, and he looks something special as well.
We have to do an under-21 show now, boy.
I've never taken Josh out of school to go and watch an under-21s. Early honest. I hope none of his teachers watch his podcast.
Sorry, miss. Right, we will wrap it up here then, guys. If it's nothing else.
Before we go though, if we're going to do the same next week, let's start having some score predictions, is it?
Yes.
We'll start having a bit of a table. So I'll let you go first. Go on.
Just for the Cardiff Preston game, yeah?
Just for the Cardiff Preston game, yeah.
All right. Sounds good to me, boy. I am going to go 2-1 Cardiff.
I'm going to go 1-0 Cardiff. I think it'll be a tough game. It'll be close. I think hopefully now coming back, we can try and get that duck off our back and start, really improving our own performances this year. Again, with the players coming in, let's hope the guys continue to bust their balls and fight for that position in their jerseys type of thing. So, yeah, fingers crossed. But I'll be there. with a little pick and shovel.
That's great. Right. Thank you so much, guys, for following and liking and commenting. Really appreciate it. Hopefully this is not the last you see of the Flower Hour. Make sure you like and subscribe even to Ace Podcast Nation.
Cardiff City World.
Cardiff City World and that one as well. For the price of a vape a month, get all the love from your favourite channel. Peace and love. God bless. Good night.